Okay, Daniel Ricciardo back in Formula One. Well, there's a bit to talk about in this one, guys. This is going to expose Daniel Ricciardo for who he really, really, truly is. Now, number one, of course he's delighted to be back in a Formula One car, actually driving here. He's got out of test driver jail here. I mean, he's going to every track. He's sitting there watching Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen go out in the track, and I presume, guys, if you're up to date, Ricciardo, before now, he's been the test driver for Red Bull, so he'd be at every round. He'd be flying around the place, working out, staying in the gym, keeping an eye on things, and just waiting to see if Max Verstappen or Sergio Perez has an accident, and he'd jump in the car and take over. Okay, so it's vicious, this test driver business. I mean, you get so close, but yet so far. Vicious. So it's no good to anybody. So I've no doubt you can see him all over Google and YouTube and everywhere at the moment, F1.com. He's delighted. He's over the moon. Of course he is. Now, I think it should continue for about maybe 2 or 3 races, right? He'll be over the moon, on a high, it feels great to be back, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But after about the 3rd or 4th race, if this fella is still happy to be in Formula One, it'll expose Ricciardo exactly who he is. Just some guy who just wants attention. Just wants to roam around the place. Will he get anything? No, he won't. No, he won't. He won't get back in Red Bull's team. That's his goal. He'd hope that he'd get back there, but if Red Bull wanted him back, he'd be back there already. Okay, let me just say that one more time. If Red Bull wanted him back in the team, he'd be back there already. The only way he's going to get back in the team is if he brings one hell of a big sponsor with him and brings money his way. It's the politics of Formula One. It's the only way he's getting back in that team. And here I'll even slam dunk you on this one, guys. Have you seen Daniel Ricciardo's stats versus Sergio Perez's stats when the two of them have been at Red Bull? Ricciardo has had more wins at Red Bull and more podiums at Red Bull than Sergio Perez has at Red Bull. So if you literally line the two guys up, Ricciardo and Perez, and break down who's done better at Red Bull, Ricciardo is on top. Now, why wouldn't they have him on board? Now, maybe, just maybe, there is a Hail Mary here for Ricciardo where some sponsor, and I mean just some wonderful charitable sponsor, comes their way and says, you know what, I want to give our fellow Aussie driver a chance here. And you never know. Weird things can happen. But it ain't looking good. And I think Ricciardo knows this. Sorry, I'm rephrasing. He doesn't think this. He knows this. Okay? It's pushing on. He's cooled. He's not hot anymore. He's just in with the Red Bull team. He's back in AlphaTauri. He's going to be at fucking midfield if he's lucky. I mean, look, hopefully for him, and hopefully I'm wrong here, hopefully for him he's going to do better than that midfield. Hopefully he'll finish in the points, etc., etc. But it ain't looking pretty here. I mean, he's the talk of the town at the moment, but he's still in AlphaTauri. He's not at Red Bull. He's not at Ferrari. I'm Mercedes here. He doesn't have a fucking chance of winning a race. All this fucking hoopla, hype about him. Now, if Ricciardo, by about the 6th or 7th race this year, and he's still walking around with a great smile on his face, and he's delighted about this, delighted about that, and he's at the back of the grid, well, shame on him. You're there to win, not fuck around at the back. And he knows if he's not getting the results in the door, he ain't getting back to Red Bull anytime soon, because he's had plenty of time to get back to Red Bull, and Christian Horner hasn't brought him back. Now, for his sake, hopefully I'm wrong. And I'll put my hands in the air, guys, if I am. Just don't count on it.